Welcome to Oregon Indie Film, a video podcast that shines the light on Oregon's independent film industry. I'm your host, Dawn Sellers. I interview Oregon's independent filmmakers who offer insights into the creative process, challenges, and triumphs of making movies in Oregon. This episode features Dan Schaefer, a freelance storyboard, illustration, and concept artist, as well as a director and producer. Dan's credits span over 35 years. Highlights include feature films for NBC Universal, MGM, Lionsgate, Paramount, and Disney. And local television shows include Leverage, Grimm, and The Librarians. It was a pleasure to sit down with Dan to chat about his background, current projects, the film industry in general, and so much more. This episode was recorded at the Soundstage, the Northwest's premier voiceover, self-tape, and podcast studio. I hope you enjoy my conversation with Dan Schaefer. I'm here today with Dan Schaefer. Welcome, Dan.
Hi. Hi, Dawn.
Dan is, I always introduce you as a storyboard artist, but you do a lot of other things. You're a writer, director.
I do a little of everything, yeah. As someone in the Northwest is, you have many hats, but I primarily work as a storyboard artist, illustrator.
And you have lots of credits to your name.
I have worked on quite a few things.
Yeah. But first, let's start off. Just kind of tell us about yourself. What you do as a storyboard artist, and other things that you do, and just a little about yourself.
Okay. Let's see. I kind of got into this because I was a fan of film, but also of comics. And earlier in my career, I became an assistant. After going to comic book conventions, I found somebody that needed an assistant, and they said, "Oh, well, we'll take you. You can come over and help me out." And that went for about 7 months, and that led into doing being an assistant for other people at DC, Marvel, Dark Horse, multiple different companies, and then that. Going to conventions, I was looking for work, as in this case as an inker, which is someone who goes in and finishes the pencil drawings once they go to the publisher. So at one point there was a party. I was talking to a storyboard artist named Paul Power, and he said, I've got this. He didn't say anything then, but later on he called me and says, I've got a job that I don't really want to do, but I suggested you. And so I got that job, and it was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, wow.
In 1990.
Wow.
So I did that for that and James Bond Jr. for 3 years, which kind of coincided with me storyboarding, not just storyboarding, but drawing comics for multiple publishers. Mm-hmm. And then that led into me working for Roger Corman, who's well known as a filmmaker. Right. Working on comics for him, I did a couple of series called Death Race 2020, which had a bunch of writers and artists who worked on 2000 AD, which I grew up with. Yeah. And it was another British thing, and I have lots of these, British influences over the years. And then a Cage Heat 3000, which was another Corman book. And at the end of that, the whole market kind of blew up. And so I ended up having to look for other work, storyboard work, and started working for Adidas International.
Oh, okay.
And so I was doing all kinds of illustrations and storyboards for them. I don't know, this is kind of turning into how did you start? But,
right, yeah.
As opposed to be about me, but in a sense it is kind of about me because for me the work is very much about me, because I'm kind of dedicated to doing it all the time, networking with people and finding new things to do. So,
right. I think you have to really get out there and meet people and find projects.
You do.
Yeah.
You do all the time.
It's all word of mouth, isn't it?
It really is. It's
Yeah.
kind of who you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's these things online and forums and these companies that are looking to try to place people, but that doesn't really
Now,
work.
did you go to art school then?
I did. Well, it's kind of. I went to community college.
Okay, here in
But
Portland, or?
Clackamas Community College.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't start at a big art school or anything.
No.
But they were all pretty good teachers, and I was able to take kind of a full a gamut of all the different art courses, drawing, painting, art history, everything I needed. Mm-hmm. And that turned into me, after 2 years, I went to Portland State, taking, the more secondary courses. Mm-hmm. And by the time I hit my fourth year, I was working in the industry. So I kind of just continued with that.
Wow. So did you always draw then as a young boy? Did you
I did.
do a lot of artwork?
I did. When I was a kid, I was drawing Batman and Superman, and I'm watching all the shows, Star Trek, and
Yeah.
I mean, when I was born, it was just starting. So
Yeah. So did you grow up then in like Milwaukee, or what part of town?
no,
What part of
I
Portland?
grew up in Tualatin.
Oh, okay, Tualatin.
That
is Clackamas
Sherwood,
County.
Sherwood,
That's
basically.
Clackamas County, isn't it?
Yeah, Sherwood.
Yeah.
And then I moved. My parents moved to Malino, and it was close to Clackamas Community College, so
Yeah.
it was kind of a easy.
Yeah.
I was able to just from high school go right to college.
Yeah.
Close by. So
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
And they had some art classes, which was that what you intended to do then when you went to Clackamas Community
Yeah.
College? Like just take art classes in general, or did you have?
I was really mostly just concerned with what do I need to know to further my career in the comics
in
field.
comics. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so I took courses that were just for adapted to what I was going to use.
Yeah.
I didn't really take the advice of anyone at in the career counseling department. So, and I took writing courses, and I had some really good teachers. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, so were you in the field then when Dark Horse started?
I was already in the field.
Yeah.
And I kind of came into the field about the time that they came on, when they started.
Yeah, I remember
think-
that was a pretty big deal when they started.
Yeah.
Like a local comic book. We didn't have that before Dark Horse.
No, there wasn't anything here like that.
Yeah.
I think it was 86, and I think I started around that time, or 87.
Yeah. And
So-
they're still going, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're a pretty big brand. I mean, they have, books that have been turned into TV shows, like the
Right.
Umbrella Academy. And,
Oh, yeah, that's a great...
and when early on I worked on an animated show called The Mask, which was based on one of their
Yeah.
projects,
Huh.
Yeah.
So, so you also do commercial work.
I do.
You did some Adidas, and you still do some of that too.
Yeah.
I would imagine that, you work on most of the larger film projects that come to town
Yeah.
because people refer you or you search them out.
Right.
Yeah, so you know about things far before the rest of us do, which is kind of fun.
I usually do.
Yeah.
I usually get a script before most people
Yeah.
do. So.
Yeah. But then I would imagine when the times are slow, then you have to fill in with commercial work.
Well, it's funny because I love doing the commercial work. There's I think that they feel like, I think there's a feeling like that's sort of like that's not what you're set out to do. Mm-hmm. But I love doing commercials. Like I just did this ad. It came out a couple months ago for Booking.com that had Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah.
And it was through a company that I've worked for about 5 years now called Biscuit, which is in LA, but there's also another office in London, which I have done quite a few spots for them too. So, no, I mean, it's like a big budget movie for 30 seconds.
Right.
Really.
Right.
Because we shot the commercial in Mallorca, in Spain, and out of the office in London. So we've, had some good success with that.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess for an illustrator, storyboard artist, it really is interesting work, whether you're doing commercial or narrative work.
It really does.
Yeah.
I consider them narrative because, like, even Kubrick, he would talk about how amazing it was to do an entire story in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
How could you do that? Because, of course, he thinks in terms of it being something that's going to take 2 hours, and how to condense that into 30 seconds. And that's why I'm always surprised when people go, I don't know if I can do a story in that short a time, but there's plenty of time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. It's a good way to look at it, I think. And so you come on board like in the very beginning.
Yes.
Sometimes probably before the script is even finalized.
Yeah, I mean, usually the script gets revised throughout, sometimes throughout when I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I mean, usually it's at a close point, but if it's a movie, we could go through different colored pages throughout.
Right.
So,
or they may find that once it's more visual, once you've done your artwork, it's not going to work, or it isn't what they thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So do you find that they change it because of that, or?
I'm not sure they change it because of what I do, but it might have something to do with, like, the location doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or they decide to shoot it from a different angle.
Yeah.
Or just something that makes them change it. Generally, though, when I talk through the script with the director, that is their vision, So the fact that it looks similar to the TV when you see it is because that's what they had intended. If it doesn't look the same, sometimes they do have to change it on the day. But it gets them there. They know what to shoot and what they have in mind. I mean, I've worked on stuff where they've changed the whole location, but they kept all the ideas for it the same. So the angles and everything are the same, except it was
blocking
different.
is all the same. It's just a different location.
Exactly.
Yeah. Huh. So do you get to spend time on set then, or is your work done by that time?
Sometimes. I mean, sometimes I will go with the crew, with all the department heads to locations, take pictures, and then bring that back and then work with the director. Like on Criminal, which we did last year, I went to all the sets that were that I was boarding, took pictures, and then we walked through the entire sequence. So
do you get to travel a lot then, or do you mostly work from
I
here?
don't have to travel much, and it's funny because I live here, but I do a lot of stuff that comes out of L.A.
And London,
and all over the country.
Yeah.
So,
but you get to do that from here, which is really nice.
It is kind of nice. Yeah.
So you have a studio at home, or is that where you do most of your work?
Yes.
Nice. So I wanted to talk about some of your other work, unless there's anything else you want to talk about with storyboard, with your storyboards. I mean, we can come back to that too.
We can come back to that because I brought notes, but there's like so many.
Yeah, I mean, when I was looking at your website and kind of other work that you've done, I came across your documentaries, and mostly Mania, which I really was interested in.
Yeah.
So that is the Trailblazers documentary, and you were really like the first person to really have behind the scenes access to the Trailblazers and the locker room and all of that to do this documentary, which now everything's filmed, right?
Right.
But specifically working with Harry Glickman, who is a Portland legend.
Yeah.
For people that don't know, you should definitely look him up because he has done so much in Portland.
Yes.
But
and he became a friend, and I'm friends with his son, and that was, and I got to know Sean Lee. I got to know so many of the players, Clyde, and everybody. So.
Yeah, tell us about that. What was that like?
Well, it was interesting because originally it was something that an idea that kind of came up after I had done a movie with Sky Fitzgerald, who ended up shooting most of the movie. And then basically I just wrote out, the idea came up, I wrote out an outline, and then I just started calling people and setting up dates to get together and interview everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And a long list, there's 50 people or so.
What year was that?
I think it was 2007.
Okay. So not
or
that
6.
long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took a couple of years to make. I think for me, everything takes about 2 years.
Yeah, it seems like it.
I don't want anything to take longer than that because
Yeah.
you kind of you run out of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And I edit all my own projects. So,
Oh, okay.
And I love the editing part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's kind of the fun part. Why would you let someone else do that?
Yeah, I always feel like you're really telling the story in the edit.
Yeah.
I've been doing some editing myself, teaching myself how to edit,
Mm-hmm.
and I love doing it.
Yeah.
I love that detail work.
Yeah.
Of really putting the story
Me too.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
So no, it was fun. I think we shot it over a period of a year, 10 months or something like that, and then the editing took the rest of that next year, and worked closely with the Blazers, had meetings with them, and then when it came out, it was available. I think it was available through video stores and online, and then eventually, online through like sites and so on.
Yeah, I think it made the round of a lot of the sports channels.
Yeah, it was on some different channels, and then and they sold it at the store at the Rose Garden. So
Very cool.
yeah, it was fun. It was fun getting to know everybody, and because I grew up with these guys.
Right, watching the games and
Watching the games.
watching the Moda Center get built. And was that after the Moda Center opened then? I don't remember when the Moda Center opened.
Yeah, I think the Motor Center opened in '95.
Okay, yeah. So it was
Yeah.
Yeah. It was already open then, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you work on a lot of like you have other documentaries too. Is there anything else you want to
Well, I did
tell us
a
about?
follow-up because during the filming of Mania, I ran into somebody who was a fan who had been a photographer for the Blazers, but he also was a big fan of the Portland Buckaroos, which was a hockey team
Oh, right.
that took place from the 1960 through about 74.
Mm-hmm.
And
Pre-Winter Hawk time.
Pre-Winter Hawk, and they were professional players,
Oh, okay.
So it was a professional league. It was the Western Hockey League at that period.
Wow.
I mean, it's become a junior league now, but then it was, it was made up of players who were either on their way up or on their way down in the NHL, which when they started only had 6 teams. So even the WHL had 8 teams when they started, and eventually stayed with 6 teams. So
They kind of fed the players then to the National
yes,
League.
and the Buckaroos would oftentimes play NHL, games with, just sort of special games,
Right.
and beat the NHL players
Oh,
because
my
they were older too. A lot of the players
see. Huh.
were older. I think Connie Madigan was the oldest rookie when he got pulled up to the major leagues. When he played for St. Louis.
So you did a documentary about the Buckaroos?
Yes, it covered the whole history. Again, Harry Glickman was part of that because he started that team as well.
Oh, okay.
And so I interviewed a lot of the players and got to know them, and it was really fun.
Is that available to watch now, too?
I think it's available somewhere, but it's funny, I'm not really good about, once it's done, I just want to move on to the next thing.
I'm like that, too. I'm just done, yeah.
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 But, you can find it online.
Yeah. Very cool. So, of all these things, like documentary, comic books, commercial work, narrative, is there something that you really enjoy the most? Like, do you have a favorite? It's kind of like asking if you have a favorite child, I think. But do you have a favorite?
That's a really good question. I mean, there's things that you feel like you've really accomplished something later. Like when I did Paranoid Park, it became very popular, and it got a prize at Cannes. I think we worked on it for about a month, just the sequence I was working on, because
Wow.
it involved a live action sequence and then matched with animated elements because it was sort of a accident happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Grimm, of course.
Yeah.
I worked on it for 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I worked with 18 different directors.
Yeah, when I was looking up the credits for Grimm to see all of the different seasons, I was shocked at how many directors they had.
Yeah.
It seems like one for each episode almost, which I
Well,
think happens.
There's some people that I worked with multiple times,
Yeah.
like David Straighton. I worked with him many times, and he's somebody who's done like hundreds of episodic. So a lot of these people
We're very experienced, yeah.
like
Yeah.
Noberto Barda. He was like one of the key people on the show, and he's worked on many things. So all these people,
Yeah.
you know.
Did you find that challenging working on the same series with different directors? Like were their visions different, or did they all sort of fit together with what you were already doing?
Well, I mean, I think that there are people in the staff that maintained a certain amount of continuity.
Okay.
And
That's helpful.
as far as the script goes, you know, so I think it went through a few hands before that just to make sure that they weren't doing things that the characters wouldn't normally do.
Right, because they had a lot of writers too on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I think that it was very similar, like that they were able to adapt it in a way that they all matched up pretty closely. So they had different styles, but they, they were unique styles, but I enjoyed working with all of them.
Yeah. And you've worked on a lot of Oregon-filmed projects.
Yeah.
Leverage,
Right.
Grimm, a lot of the films that have come through.
Librarians.
Librarians, yes. And are there any specific challenges that you can think of filming in Oregon that you've seen or that you've been part of?
Well, I'm not sure we have good crews here.
Yeah.
And they know what to do. So I think when people come here, I think they appreciate that there's ready-made crews ready to go to work, you know?
Yeah.
I think when we did Criminal last year, we had, it was a very full crew.
Yeah.
And employed a lot of people for at least
A lot of local people.
8 months at least.
Yeah. I think we're very fortunate in that way that we're not challenged with finding crew or cast.
Right. As far as me being challenged, not really. There's it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not always the same experience, but because they're different, the people have different ways of telling me what they want. But some directors will walk you through it. Like some directors are actors, and so they would prefer to sort of act it out. Like I work with Jonathan Frakes many times. And sometimes he would act it out somewhat, whereas other people might give you a shot list, and you would go through it together, or maybe they just hand it to you and you take it home. So it varied. I mean, I did one episode over the phone. The director was in Massachusetts, and I was in Utah doing something. I was at a comic book convention, actually, and we did this whole sequence over the phone, and
that worked out fine.
It worked out fine.
Yeah. So I lost my train of thought here. Let's see. So filming locally, and then since you get to do most of your work from home and from here, do you find it easier then to work on local films?
Only so that you can go to the location.
Right, because you know most of the locations now, I would imagine.
A lot of them.
I mean,
new
things all the
there's
time,
always,
of course.
even if it's the same location, you're looking at it differently years later. But for the most part, like if I work on something, say it's in LA, they'll send me pictures of the location, and I work with it. Like I worked with a director named Noor Wazi in London for many years, and for the most part, everything she's ever sent me were pictures and diagrams. And that was enough to do all the work. Yeah.
So you do a lot of that by Zoom then, or?
Yeah, either by Zoom or just, in that case, it started off just emails back and forth.
Yeah.
So
you get the shot list or some idea of what they want, and the script, obviously.
In her case, she would always send me a shot list and a script, and we would talk about it, and we'd go through several variations until it got there.
Right. So is it like you illustrate a bit of it and then send it back for feedback and kind of work on it that way, or do you do a whole scene, or how does that work?
Yeah, I tend to do the whole thing, and then
okay.
and then send it, and then make revisions to that.
Okay.
And I tend to. I've heard some directors say, "Well, you don't have to put a lot of work into it," but I don't really know how to put less work into it.
Right, because you do a lot of detailed work.
Mainly because if they got it and it wasn't finished looking, sometimes they would go, "Well, it doesn't look finished." Right. Well, you didn't ask me to finish it, so I don't do that very often.
So just finish it.
I just finish it and make revisions to it.
And so, are you illustrating mostly with pencil then, or colored pencils?
I'm very old school. When I took a course at Portland State from an animator, Stan Green, who had worked for Disney, and had worked actually for one of the the 7 old men that did the animation there. So I got my start seeing it from that point of view, using a pencil, doing it very much the old-fashioned way. And since I worked in comics, that was how we did that too.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very much old school.
Yeah. And you're still doing some comic work too then?
Occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah, occasionally.
And you said you were at a comic book convention, so do you still go to those?
I still go occasionally. I mean, when I was doing it more professionally, I went from 87 to 2001 to San Diego Con, and that's where I would get my work.
Yeah.
Since then, I've gone to other local ones, or the Salt Lake City one that they do every year.
Yeah, the Portland one seems to have grown.
Yeah, it's a big convention.
The Rose City.
And the one in Seattle is big too.
Is it?
But I've never gone to that one.
Oh.
So.
Yeah. I also saw that you do some plein air painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you still doing that?
Well, I don't paint as much as I used to.
Yeah.
My wife, who always tells me that I should be painting.
Yeah.
But no, I just, you get, I'd like to. I do use color in a lot of things, but oftentimes I'm just drawing with pencil.
Right. Yeah. So painting gives you a chance to use color and, yeah.
Yeah, and I like painting.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, and plein air painting is kind of fun, I think.
Yeah. You gotta work
out in the outdoors and.
So, I mean, the thing is, as a storyboard artist, you have to work fast.
Right.
Because there's so much work to do. So it's kind of perfect for me, like plein air painting. You have to work fast because you're outside.
Right.
And the light changes, and the conditions can change. I've been out there when it started to rain, and you have to just get it done and
get it done.
Get go.
Yeah.
I don't have patience, I guess, for long.
Right.
Although editing is different.
Which is yeah, that's surprising, because I think illustrating would take a lot of patience. But when you've done it, I mean, you've done it for over 35 years, 40 years. Yeah. So you're able to do it quickly. But I would think somebody starting out would need a lot of patience to kind of learn how to do it. But
it does take patience.
Yeah.
It certainly does.
Yeah, but you're just quick at it because you've been doing it so long.
The more you do it, and I think in terms of being a filmmaker, too. So when I'm storyboarding something, I'm like, well, what is this missing? Oftentimes on Grimm, we do work so quickly that I'm like, well, this has been left out. This needs to be left in. So I would just draw in the scenes that were missing,
Oh, okay.
And oftentimes they would just shoot that,
Yeah.
which was kind of fun.
That is kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, editing takes some patience too. Also
Yeah.
very detailed, but, but yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you, what do you edit in? What program do you edit in?
Final Cut.
Final Cut, yeah. Yeah. Are you working on any editing now?
No, but I am kind of on the verge of starting another documentary.
Oh, fun.
And it's going to be focused on the author Kate Wilhelm, who was, a prolific writer of science fiction. Originally, it was going to be a little bit different, but it's going to be mostly about her now. That's the plan anyway. So I shot some of the video several years ago, so I finally have time that I
Can get that finished.
start to get that going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I heard that you're writing a book.
I'm writing a book about storyboarding.
Yeah.
But it's taking some time.
Yeah. Is it going to be more of a how-to, or will it be more of a memoir of your experience?
I think it's a little of both.
A little of both,
Because
yeah.
I kind of think that the things that you don't learn in a book, there's several books on storyboarding, but there aren't too many that say, well, in this situation, you should do this. Not that I'm going to give you the be-all and end-all of what you should do in a situation, but oftentimes I read a lot of books on film, and I see how things work, during the filming of something or pre-production, and I get it, I use the advice. Like,
right. Yeah. Do you have any favorite books that you have read on filmmaking that you could share that you'd recommend?
Yeah, there's a book, let's see, I always get the title mixed up. Raging Bulls and...
Oh, yeah. I have that book.
Yeah.
I haven't read it yet.
Oh, and I always miss the title.
It's Villains. Is it about villains?
No, it's about the film industry from late 60s through, say, 1981.
Oh, okay.
And so it kind of covers the emergence of, Warren Beatty. He's a big part of it. The same writer did a whole book called Star, which was also about Warren Beatty. But, during Bonnie and Clyde, which was kind of groundbreaking in that he was producing, and they were also doing some stuff that you would never do in the film. It was a little more, a little more graphic some way.
Yeah.
But it also led into, Spielberg and Lucas and all the people that they hung out with, the sort of new, the new group of filmmakers in that period.
It was a big time of change in filmmaking when those guys all came along, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Not only in telling stories, but also in filmmaking itself and equipment and the way that films were made.
Yeah. So it's definitely, I've read it several times.
Yeah.
There's a sequel to it that's more about the 90s. It has Steven Soderbergh's a big part of that book.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I read a lot of books on film.
Have you read Green Light, the Matthew McConaughey book?
No.
Oh, that one's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that one was pretty good. But and there's
I'll look for that.
Yeah.
I read a lot of science fiction too, and mysteries.
Oh, okay.
So a mixture of
of
those.
Do you have favorite authors for sci-fi or mystery? Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more from Dan Schaefer.
Calling all filmmakers, performers, and creatives. The Soundstage is your home for high-quality recording in the Portland area. Whether you're working on an audio or video podcast, voiceover project, audiobook, casting your next film, or need help with that self-tape audition, we offer a professional, welcoming studio space. Come record with confidence and mention the Oregon Indie Film Podcast to get $5 off your next session. Learn more about The Soundstage, the Northwest's premier voiceover and recording studio, at thesoundstagenw.com.
Hey there. If you're enjoying this episode of Oregon Indie Film, don't go anywhere. We've got more great conversation coming up. And if you believe in uplifting local voices and the power of independent storytelling, we'd love your support. Hit that follow button, share the show with a friend, or leave us a quick 5-star review. It makes a big difference. Want to get more involved? Reach out at OregonIndieFilm@gmail.com. Now, back to the episode. So yeah, favorite authors, sci-fi and mystery.
Yes. Frederick Brown is a current real favorite. He was an author back in, I would say, the late 40s, 50s, 60s, and then early 70s. And he was kind of known for these, what they call flash stories, which are essentially really short, half page to page stories. But he's written novels as well, so I'm kind of working my way through his books.
Yeah. Do you ever, when you're reading, do you ever think about making it into a film? Or
All the time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I visualize the whole thing. So.
I've been a reader forever, my whole life, and I like mystery and thriller and true crime, all of that. But now that I'm making films, it's a different experience because every time I read something, one, I see it differently in my mind, and I think, "Oh, this would be a great film," or "Oh, this could never be a good film." Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. Well, I remember the story of Stanley Kubrick, how he would go through book after book. He would get stacks of books and read through them, and his assistant would hear a thump on the wall every once in a while, which was him giving up on the book and throwing it and hitting it, having it hit the wall because he was done with it.
Yeah.
He was like, so.
Yeah. Do you finish books even if you don't like them? Or
I try to.
Yeah.
It's just like TV. Or movies. If I start it, I try to finish it.
Really?
Even if I don't continue with the series, I at least want to get that episode done.
Yeah, I am not like that at all. If I'm not interested fairly quickly, I'll either change the channel or find something else to watch. Or if I'm reading, I'll just toss it aside and not finish it.
Yeah.
So I wish I could work through that because I think I'm probably missing some good stories that way. But I don't know, maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes you learn from maybe movies or TV shows that aren't good.
Right.
You go, well, I wouldn't have done that, or I would have done that differently.
Yeah.
You do learn from that.
Good point, yeah. You learn from the bad as well as the good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you read a lot in your free time?
I do, quite a bit.
Anything else other than, like, drawing and painting and reading that you... Do you go to sports games?
Well, I haven't gone as much to the Blazers recently. They've kind of been on they haven't been doing too well the last few years. So So I feel like they're going to get better. So
I'm hoping, yeah. I mean, aside from the scandal that's currently happening, I'm hoping they can refocus. I think
the new coach is terrific. I mean, he has a background as a head coach, as well as being, a championship player.
Right.
He played for San Antonio.
I think it makes a big difference.
And he was a coach in Europe.
Yeah.
So he's, I think he's going to be all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for the new women's basketball team, too.
Yeah. I remember going to see the Fire when they were here the first time.
Yeah. And then we had the Portland Power for a short time, women's basketball, which was a American Basketball League.
Okay.
Team. We had that for a while, but yeah.
And I like going to Winterhawks games.
Yeah.
They're not the Buckaroos, but they're exciting. And a lot of those players end up going in the NHL.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I always like to ask guests this question. And what is your big, beautiful dream? Like, if you could do anything, if, it could be filmmaking or not, money and time isn't an object. Is there any, big, beautiful dream you have?
That's a really good question because you're so used to just moving forward that you don't think that far ahead and you don't look behind you too. I mean, it is good to look at what you've done and appreciate what you've gotten to do.
Absolutely.
I think maybe writing a book that maybe of short stories, the ideas I have in my head that I'd like to put down, it is difficult to do that, to get focused and write something. I think directing a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
That's originally what I got into this for because I love sci-fi.
Yeah.
But very rarely do I get to do sci-fi. It's mostly fantasy if it is like that. I've been working on a couple of short films. It's sort of a series called Axanar, which is a Star Trek-based fan film.
Yeah.
But they have good actors you would know, and the effects are fantastic. So, even though it's a fan film, it looks fantastic.
Right.
And it's science fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, so you have science fiction ideas you'd like to write
Yes.
and then direct.
Mm-hmm.
Direct your own work. Is that what you're thinking?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think at some point, if it was like some big director that wanted to do it.
Well, right. You're
we
not going to
might
turn them
just
down.
let them do it. But, it would be nice to see your legacy, whatever your
Right.
ideas are, be out there.
Right. Yeah. I think that a lot about film. It's, it lives forever.
Mm-hmm.
Once you make a film, it lives forever. So,
Yes.
I think that's a good thing. But a book does too, writing a book.
Yeah, and a book is different in that
Yeah.
oftentimes it's interpreted very differently.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is.
Unless it's Reacher, the TV show Reacher. If you read
Yes.
the books are very close.
Yeah.
And one of the good things about that is that with a book, generally they have to cut it down because it's only going to be 2 hours if it's a movie. Mm-hmm. But if it's 8 hours, you can get everything in. Mm-hmm. So they have that luxury.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's the good thing about, like the streamers, Netflix and Amazon, is the limited series where you do get more of the story,
Right.
not just a film.
Right.
Not just a film, but it's longer than a film. So you're able to tell more of a story that way. And I think sci-fi is really good for that because typically sci-fi stories are more involved.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And there's more explaining needed.
Yeah.
Because you're in a different world that's not like your own.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite sci-fi movie?
That's a good question. Probably 2001 because it's Kubrick.
Yeah.
And then, the Alien and Aliens.
I heard they're going to remake, or they're going to do another one.
I've heard that Sigourney Weaver has been in talks to make some other Alien movie.
Are there 3 now? 3 Alien movies?
I think there were at least 5.
Oh, 5.
Yeah, there were Aliens.
But she wasn't in all
Aliens,
of them.
Aliens 3, and there was a 4th one. Gosh, I can't remember. There was, and there might have been a 5th one that was
Really? Wow, I've
the
missed out.
French director that did Amélie. He did one of them too.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite directors too.
Yeah.
But don't ask for his name
For his
because I can't remember
French
right
director that directed Amélie. I'll have
Yes,
to look him
he's
up.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Really great.
Yeah. So what are you working on now? Can you tell us about? Because I know you can't always share what you're working on because you do get brought in so soon. But
Right.
tell us what you
I mean,
can.
there are, I normally post things on like LinkedIn of new things I'm working on, but there's so many backed up
Right.
that aren't finished.
Right.
Or that aren't out there that I can't put it out there. But like, there's a movie called And Out Come the Wolves, which we did
Yes.
earlier.
Yeah.
I think the director's Danny Paykoff.
Yeah.
He was a producer on Horizon, with Costner. And so, as far as things that I can't talk about, I mean, Criminal is supposed to come out in 26.
Oh, okay.
It was supposed to come out in 25.
Yeah, I thought this year. Yeah.
But it's pretty involved. I think they produce them like 8 movies,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they're putting extra time into it, I
Yeah.
guess. It should be good, though.
Well, that's good. That's going to be Amazon, isn't it?
It's going to be, it's on
yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah.
As far as other things that I'm working on, I worked on a movie called Wake Up Maggie.
Right, I was going to ask
Which I
about
have
that.
the hat from.
Yeah, your Sunshine Soul hat.
right.
Katie Prentice.
Yeah.
Her film Wake Up Maggie, which she's been working on for some time. So
yeah.
that
Yeah.
principal photography, I think, is done.
Yep.
But you worked on that, so tell us about that.
Well, I met Katie at one of these OMPA functions, and we got talking, and I said, well, when you do it, I'd be happy to help you. And then got a call from her, and we worked for, 2 or 3 days a week, for several months, a couple of months. And, and part of it was in her house, so we were able to use that as a set.
Nice.
And, shoot pictures from where we needed the angles to be. And that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Katie's wonderful to work with.
She is.
She's a good friend of mine, and she's wonderful person. So
yeah,
I
Katie's
knew
great.
That was a good experience. So anything else? I think that film. So they're going in post-production, but I don't know. I haven't talked to her. So
Yeah,
I don't know how long that's going to be.
She was going to take a little break before she started the next, because it is really another process. The whole post-production is like making the movie all over again.
Right.
In the editing.
Right. And it's a personal movie for her.
It is.
About her mom who died from frontotemporal dementia,
Yes.
frontotemporal dementia.
Yes.
And so I imagine emotionally that's probably very hard to make that film and then have to remake it in the post-production.
Yeah, it really is. And I haven't seen, it's funny, when I was done, that was kind of, then they started shooting and I was out of the picture. But I would love to see, Bonnie Root is the actress who's playing her sister in the
I didn't know. I knew Bonnie was up here, but I didn't know she was in that. Yeah, Bonnie's wonderful.
And I'd seen her in other movies.
Yeah.
And
she has a movie right now that's doing really well in festivals.
Okay.
Don't Let Them Out.
Okay.
Which people can see. It wasn't filmed in Oregon, but Bonnie has a lot of Oregon connections. So.
Yeah, because I think she was from Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, I was excited when Katie told me that she was going to be on it, because I thought, oh, this is going to be interesting, because she's a good actress, and now I just want to see how she handles it, because, acting as somebody with FTD, I don't know what that will look like.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting how she handles that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see it finished, because I know Katie's been working on it for a long time.
Yeah.
Anything else that you're working on? Your book, obviously, you're working on that, but any other films that you're...
I mean, that
you can
the
share?
book thing is going to be something that might...
Long term.
You might be talking about the next time.
Yeah, that's your big, beautiful dream.
Well, it's...
part of it.
It's part of it, maybe.
Yeah.
It's just nice to get some of that down on paper. Because as you get older, you go,
right.
Did that happen? Or,
right.
There's so many stories.
I know.
So, but
do you take a lot of notes when you're thinking of ideas to write later?
all
do
the
you
time.
Keep a notebook?
My phone is filled with ideas.
Okay,
write a new concept every day.
Yeah.
It seems like.
I know. I feel that way a lot, too. There's so many stories to tell, and just finding the time to sit down and focus on them when you're trying to do so many other things in life. But, Yeah, the world needs our stories, that's for sure.
I think so. I think they need a diversion from... I mean, and I love the idea of it being entertainment. I don't... it doesn't always need to be some sort of message. So people
I
just
think
need to
so
have,
too.
I think the fun part is what's important. People need to have fun.
Yeah.
Because you notice how popular some of these older movies, when they're put back in the theater. Jaws, when it came out a few months ago, was in the top 3.
I know, that's why.
Against new movies.
Right.
And they're anticipating something similar when Back to the Future comes out, I think this next month.
Yeah.
And it's going to be seen by an entirely new generation.
Right.
And almost certainly it's going to be in the top, 3 or 5.
Yeah, I find that interesting that, these remakes, when really they're just entertainment, right? I mean, they were great movies when they were first made, but they are remade and then they're great movies again. With
Sometimes.
So many,
I mean,
not always.
I mean, I think that we're in the era of remaking old things badly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Star Trek. Doctor Who.
Yeah. There are some failures
Star
there.
Wars. These are all
Yeah, I know.
kind
Poor
of mistakes.
Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't even bring it up, but I mean, there are things that you grew up with and you kind of
Right.
love these things.
Right.
And then you see them kind of messed up.
Yeah. Star Wars is like that for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you just can't.
Well, I didn't even see the third
Yeah.
sequel.
Yeah.
I just stayed home.
Yeah.
I saw the second one and I was like, this is it.
I know.
Although I did like Andor, which was, a series.
Spin-off series.
on
I
Disney.
haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. I'll have to watch it if it was good, yeah.
I thought it was good. Yeah. The director had done the Bourne Identity movies.
Oh, okay.
So there's a sort of spy, secret agent kind of vibe that the show has.
Yeah.
It had some good actors too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then we have the whole Marvel franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just blossomed so much. I mean, those are stories that are just told over and over and over again. Same characters in different ways. I mean, Superman, how many times have they told Superman's story?
Right.
But it's popular. People love it.
I think that they do. I think that, again, they're interpreted. Oftentimes you hear or you see, well, this is a good starting point.
Right.
And so they've left all the people who grew up with it or are fans of it behind, because it's not really a good starting point. It is the point of it is making the story that you recognize,
Right.
not changing it.
Right.
So, Marvel has not been so great the last few years.
No, but it is pure entertainment.
It is.
It is just entertainment. I mean, most of those stories don't have a deep message. I mean, sure, there's a message in every story, but
I mean, hopefully there is some sort of something that you want to say, but maybe it's not something where you overtly trying to say it.
Right.
It's subdued in the story somewhere.
Yeah.
Which is why people love the original Superman.
Right.
And the second Superman, which are both great movies.
Great stories, and Batman. I think is also a great story, but
But we'll see how the next wave of movies as things, it'll take a few years.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the movies that are being made were planned 5 years ago or more. So
right.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, they've extended beyond the 2-year time frame that you like to have, but well, as somebody who's worked in film for decades, do you have any thoughts on sort of where the industry is now and what could be happening if you could pull out your crystal ball?
Well, I think it's a bit of a low point.
Yeah.
I mean, as most industries, where I noticed in comics it's similar in that, say, the early 70s, there was a depression, and then it rose in the 80s. It was somewhat like film, where film became big in the mid to late 70s and sort of kind of carried through really up until a few years ago. And I think it has to deal with people, you've got the internet, you've got cable, you've got the idea that, oh, well, I could just sit home and watch it.
Right.
But I think people are missing the getting together with people to watch things and sharing things as a group. When you're in a theater, you're all, seeing it for the first time.
I was just talking to someone about that yesterday. She went to see a movie and there were 3 other people in the theater. And it's just that experience that we're missing is seeing this film for the first time together with people you don't know.
Yeah.
And hearing reactions. And I think we're losing that.
I think that there's an element of, it used to be set up a little like sports in that there were B movies and there were A movies.
Right.
And there were, in the indie era, you had movies in the 80s, for instance, that were smaller movies that made an impact. And you know, like Tarantino's movies started like that, smaller movies, and that they became popular because they were good films and people, you know, told other people about them.
Right, and they wanted to see more. Yeah.
And we don't really have that, you know, here's movies that you can start out on.
Right.
Movie companies should be allocating a certain amount of money to movies that are small as opposed to just all big movies. You know, I think that when they started referring to movies as IP or tentpole or franchise,
That was sort of the beginning of it, of the downturn, I think. Yeah.
I think so too, because when you refer to it as an intellectual property, that's not a story anymore. That's like you're selling and trading stocks or something.
It's like an entity. Becomes an entity, yeah.
Whereas, you know, the first movie you should be focused on that, not thinking like it's going to be a legacy.
Right. The entertainment value of it.
Yeah. And again, I think having fun. And I think there isn't as much fun with some of the newer movies. And then there's a lot of remakes and sequels.
Yeah.
I think like last year there was, of the top 20, there were only a few original movies.
Right.
Which of the bigger budget movies.
Right.
And you know, that shouldn't even be counted as like whether it was good or not. I mean, just because a movie didn't make very much money doesn't mean it's bad either.
Right. It's the view of what's successful. Is it only successful if it makes a ton of money?
Yeah.
Or is it successful if it's widely viewed and people enjoy it?
Now, if you spend $300 million and it's a failure...
You need to make your money. Yeah, that's... Yeah.
In fact, I think that's we're suffering from some of that, too.
I do, too.
The fact that if you are a big company and you've had, say, 9 failures and one success, you're probably doing something wrong. And it's also affecting... how people invest in movies too.
Right.
You know, because if your movies are not making money, then it may be not a market that you want to be in.
Right.
If you're an investor.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's harder for newer filmmakers who are starting out to be able to get that funding.
Yes.
Because no one wants to take the risk, because they have lost so much money that they're only investing in remakes or things that they see are a sure thing. They're not willing to take a risk.
I think that in the old days, they would take chances on things that weren't a sure thing. You know, companies like Orion back in the 80s tried all kinds of things. And some were successful, and then they had Heaven's Gate, you know, and which is a great movie,
right?
But it was so expensive,
right,
that they could never recoup their money on it. Now it's kind of considered a classic.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I hope that, you know. I mean, Oregon is a great place for independent film.
It
as
is.
We both know there's so many movies being made. That are not big budget. And it's my hope that, you know, some of those movies can get out and get seen and start to maybe be the new wave of entertainment.
Yeah, I think if a bigger company was to take a $5 million movie that had a good script and it was, you know, solidly made and just promoted it like they did a $150 million movie.
Right.
You could make your money back.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then make another movie, as opposed to if you make a $300 million movie and it makes, you know, $75 million. How many mini movies are you going to make? You could make 20 movies from that amount.
Exactly.
You know, and have everyone employed.
Right. Yeah. It's just convincing the people with those millions of dollars to do that. And, you know, maybe that will be the outcome of this downturn.
I do think, though, that I'm positive that things will improve. We're going through a lot of changes as far as technology and so on. And we'll get past that.
Yeah, I mean, and that kind of brings up a good point about like storyboard art, right? You know, how do you see that being impacted by AI?
Well, I
The
mean, I've
dreaded
had a
AI?
couple of situations where, on commercials, where they started with AI, and a week later they came back to me and said, you know, we're going to do it. We're going to help.
Yeah.
Because it's not very, it's not adaptable to the process. I mean, the fact that if you're going to do AI storyboards and you're going to show it to the client, and the client's going to go, well, is it going to look just like that? They have to sign off on it.
Right.
Because if it doesn't look like that, they're going to say, well, it doesn't look like what you,
Right.
you know. So the idea of having it drawn is more like, it's more of a general suggestion of what it's going to look like.
Right, and I think AI can't accomplish that.
No, and also I have years of experience
Right.
working on films with directors and producers and stunt coordinators and so on. And so I know what it'll look like and I know what to suggest.
Right.
Whereas AI is not a person,
No.
and it doesn't really have that experience. It has an algorithm.
Right.
You know.
It can only produce what it's been told
Yes.
to produce.
Right.
Where humans, you have the creativity and the experience
Right.
to know what to produce
Yeah.
in the drawings. Yeah.
Yeah, and plus, we're the ones that want to do the work.
Right.
You know.
Right.
You know, whereas
Yeah.
AI is really just a cost-saving measure.
It is, and I think there's other places it's great, and you know, can be used in other ways.
I
but-
did see an article though that said that most of the companies that have been using it find that they have to go back and fix things to the point that it's not feasible
Not
financially.
cost-effective. Well,
it's not
that's-
cost effective,
Yeah.
which was good news.
It is good news, and
Yeah.
I think predictable
Yeah.
news too, because it's not perfect, but you know that isn't to say it will be at some point.
Yeah. But I mean, I think we need to look out for
Yeah.
the people making film.
Yeah, exactly. I do too.
Yeah.
And keep the creativity human and keep making great films.
Why would we spend money to go see something a robot made?
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about or share that we haven't covered? We've covered a lot.
Yeah, I know.
It's been great.
Yeah. No, I've really enjoyed working in the field.
Yeah.
And sort of, I've had, you know, a period of working in animation and then working in commercials and film. It's all kind of overlapped. And, but I kind of find them all very similar.
Yeah.
You know, they're all storytelling.
Yeah.
They're all, you know, sequential art, basically.
Right. Yeah. Well, and we talked a little bit about the books that you've read and kind of the advice that you've gotten from those books. But is there any advice that maybe you got when you were starting out that has stuck with you that you could share? Anything you can think of? Or
Well, I mean, you know, when I started in comics, someone wrote, draw. It's just keep
Do the
doing
work.
it, and you will get better at it, and you'll get closer to what you want it to look like.
Yeah.
Whether it's drawing or film or
Exactly.
writing,
Yeah.
any of those things. The more you do it, the better you get
Yeah.
at it.
I think that's great advice. Really
Yeah.
good advice.
And I think talking to people, especially talking to people who have done it, if you're a young person, talking to somebody who is older, who has the experience, and also watching older movies. I think that there's this tendency for people who are younger to not look back far enough. Whereas when I started, I was kind of into old movies already. I was into old TV shows, movies, even advertising. I mean, I look at advertising now, old advertising.
It's great.
I love it.
I do too. I love old advertising, yeah.
And so I think there's so much valued information if you're to watch a Stanley Kubrick movie or, you know, any of the other filmmakers of the past that have something to say. You know, Frank Capra. I'm just Spielberg.
Yeah.
I look at
Right.
Spielberg and I would, just for training, I would go through and draw frames from his movies all in sequence.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see how that works as far as like cutting between a close-up and a wide shot and a close-up or a medium shot. There's a little bit of a rhythm, a pattern, like music, where there's a change, and it creates this visual feeling,
Almost a melody.
Yeah.
A visual melody, yeah.
Very, very much
No,
so.
I think that's the value of storyboard art, is that you see those transitions, because when you're on set filming, you don't always think about those.
Right.
And if you have the storyboard art to go by, to reference,
Right.
it's really going to help you with those transitions when you get into editing.
Yes. Yeah, when
Yeah.
you get those pieces that you need,
Right.
you have just what you need. So, I mean, it works as a way of planning your edit, but and having a rehearsal.
Yeah.
You're essentially rehearsing everything visually
Yeah.
beforehand, so that when you get on the set, you just shoot what you've got.
Right.
There's no like,
No
where
wasted
are we,
time.
Right.
Yeah.
Where are we going to set the camera up,
Yeah.
or where are we going to do the lights, and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in indie filmmaking, time is money, and there's not a lot of money, so
Yes.
you
Yeah.
don't have a lot of time to waste.
Right. So
Yeah.
make it count.
So make it count. Yeah. Yeah. So if people wanted to reach out to you, maybe, or follow you, I know you're on LinkedIn. That's
Yeah.
usually where you and I connect. But you're on Facebook as well, somewhat.
Yep,
maybe?
I'm on Facebook as well.
And Instagram. Are you on Instagram?
I'm not really. I'm kind of on Instagram, but I don't really use it very
Yeah.
often.
Mostly LinkedIn is your main.
Yeah, I
social
find
platform.
LinkedIn more of a professional
Yeah.
website.
Yeah.
So, like I post something new I've done and something older
Yeah.
on Fridays,
Yeah.
and I do that all the time.
Yeah, those
every
are always
week.
fun to see. And then you just posted some of your artwork is for sale on eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of your.
Yeah, I've been doing, because it's the Halloween month, I've been doing a new drawing from Grimm every day that
Okay.
I've been posting something
Yeah.
new. And it's good because it gets me thinking about, what did I do on that, or these characters. A lot of the characters are characters that were from episodes I worked on. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of a nice revisit.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you do have a website, filmstoryboards.com.
Yes,
And that's your
filmstoryboards.com.
website.
Yes.
That's where I learned about your documentaries and
Yeah.
your plein air painting and
Yeah. Well, it's not a fancy site, but you can get a hold of me through that.
great. They can reach out through your website or on LinkedIn, connect on LinkedIn.
Yeah, and if you've got an idea and you want to, if it's a small project, call me. If it's a large project, call me. Don't worry about it. I'm mostly interested in working with people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's probably a big part of your success is that.
Yeah,
you know, just
networking too.
Yeah.
Networking is probably the most important
Yeah.
skill that you can have in this business. Once you want to do it, you have to reach people.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part of the reason for the podcast is just
Yeah.
to get people in and talk about film, local film, and learn what people are doing and then connect people.
Yeah, collaborating is
Yeah.
a big part of that. It's part of the fun too. I mean, in my case, I'm kind of working with just a few people, the director and the producer, and maybe other people, department heads. But I'm kind of isolated because I'm working on my own a lot. So it is nice to get out and work with other people.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
You're very welcome.
And I look forward to seeing what you do next.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I'll let you know. We'll maybe do an update later.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah. Thank you.
You're
Thanks so much for listening. If you would like to continue the conversation with Dan Schaefer or chat with him about your project, reach out to him on his website, filmstoryboards.com, or on LinkedIn. You'll find those links in the show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, Please take a moment to leave a 5-star review and share it on your social media. It helps us connect with more indie film lovers. Be sure to check out the Soundstage in downtown Vancouver for all of your voiceover, self-tape, and podcasting needs. Thanks again for their support. Would you like to support the podcast by becoming a guest or a sponsor? Reach out at OregonIndieFilm@gmail.com.